My name is Valeriy Prushinskiy. In my videos I'll tell about inventions and patents of modern companies. I am TRIZ specialist. Recently, article about one of my patents was published by Digital Trends, Forbes, Let's Go Digital and some other digital publishers. The links are behind me right now. I made this invention by using TRIZ tool. So what is TRIZ? TRIZ is theory of inventive problem solving. This is science that in process of development for more than 60 years. The founders of this science have decided to find strong patents, study them, reveal inventive principles inside this invention, and then teach everyone how to invent. So that's why I decided to make short videos where I will talk about modern companies, their patents in field of Internet of Things, smart home, smartphones and even new space technologies. And of course about TRIZ tools that could be utilized in these inventions from my personal point of view. And we will begin with a quiz about one of these modern companies. So now when you will see floating pop-up question in right top corner of the screen, you can click it or touch it and select your answers. This company was established for manufacturing of flat displays for PCs and laptops. Several years ago, a video about one of the AMOLED displays manufactured by this company appeared on internet. In this video, someone tried to break this display by hammer, but the stubborn display remained bright because it was so-called unbreakable model of display. Later, this company pioneered in transparent displays and developed first 14-inch semi-transparent AMOLED display. Guess what is the name of this company? Let's talk more about their patents. In one of our previous videos, we mentioned another patent, patent 9736383, which is about the apparatus and methods for maximizing display area of mobile device. The patent is essentially about invention of the pop-up selfie camera. And this patent is filed by totally different company. But I hope you remember that we have already discussed the problems of increasing of size of smartphone display. Early models of smartphones had big display on its front surface, but still it was substantial distance between edge of the display and the wall of the device, and size on the sides, and also between the top and the bottom and the edge of the display. During the years passed from the appearing this modern concept of the touchscreen smartphone, display grew up and took most of the front surface of the phone. Then developers and designers started their fight to decrease the distance from the end of the display to the sidewall of the smartphone until this distance became less than 1 millimeter, and it looks like it's almost touched the side of the phone. We discussed in TRIZ, in theory of inventive problem solving, there is a distinct trend of increasing of ideality. Do you remember? Of course you remember. You remember that ideality ratio is described as relation of sum of all useful functions to sum of all harmful functions and payback for carrying out of these useful functions. So, roughly speaking, if we accept the fact that display of the smartphone is carrying out our primary useful functions of smartphone, and we'll try to describe ideality of the smartphone, one of the possible ways can be relation of the full area of display to full front area of the smartphone. Inventors wanted to make more ideal smartphone by making display bigger and more convenient for users until they bumped into the walls on the left and right sides of the device. But according to the ideality ratio relation of the display area and full front surface of the device have to be increased, but we are faced and pressed against the wall. Does it mean that this is the end of ideality? Of course not. We already mentioned that inventors extended the display up, but selfie camera was on their way. But why it was a problem to stretch the display to the left and right? Now, please take a look on display of your smartphone. What you see on the left and right side of the display? Most of you, depending on type of your device, will see small and narrow black area. Yes, if we look carefully on display, we can notice that there is a black space on the left and right sides of the display. But why? Is this just a frame to make it nicer? Of course not. Display consists of many very small, really tiny illuminated points called pixels. In order to get them illuminated, electric current has to be conducted to each and every pixel of the display. That's why miniature wires are hidden under this black frame. They go around display and conduct the current from all sides of the display to each individual pixel. Earlier, one of the first smartphone display had 260 pixels per square inch. Nowadays, displays are much better, so there are more than 500 pixels per inch, and some of more advanced models have more than 700 pixels per inch. Look at this picture. There is a symbolic drawing of many conductors guiding electric current to the pixels. Although this is so-called symbolic picture, now it is clear that the black frame is really needed. It's needed for covering these miniaturized conductors. I hope that now you understand how difficult to eliminate this black zone around display. So, there is a contradiction. Black area around display is needed because we want to cover these miniaturized electrical conductors, and this black area around display has to be eliminated so that display can cover whole smartphone surface. So ideal display has to take 100% of the front surface of ideal smartphone. As you probably noticed, few years ago inventors proposed to bend display edges, but black parts still remained over there. That time, team of very decisive inventors decided to tuck in the edges under the bent display. And if they would propose this to do earlier, everyone will think that they are really crazy. But at that time it was already recognized that it was the first step to make display flexible, because we already began to bend it. So, on the next step, the inventors folded in these black edges under the display. That is idea of display with infinite edges. But the problem on top and on the bottom of the display remained unsolved, because black part is also known as a black matrix remained over there. Now, what do you think? Is this invention of one big American company, or one big Japanese company, or maybe one small but very inventive Chinese company, or maybe one small but proud American company, or one big and skillful South Korean company? Are you getting closer? Do you feel that you have correct guess? Okay, as we mentioned, other inventors proposed to make a cut in the middle of the display so that they will stretch the display up in the corners. But the group of the unstoppable inventors have proposed new ideals in their new patents. They decided to fold in both left, right, top and bottom parts of the display and put the black matrix under the display all over again. See how it depicted on this particular illustration. You will ask, and what about selfie camera? And you are right. The consumers cannot imagine their phone without selfie camera. Again, the developers faced the same contradiction. Selfie camera is needed for taking pictures of your most favorite person, and selfie camera is not needed because it prevents expansion of display and increasing of ideality. And of course, inventors could compromise and to make a cut as all others, but it was proposed to place the camera behind the display by making small transparent window in display. This way, inventors utilized same inventive principle twice. Basically, they used inventive principle transition to another dimension, and it's teaching that if something is interfering in it, you can move it to the backside. In our case, black matrix interfered the display expansion, so it was proposed to fold it down under display. And for people who are still guessing, the name of the company is Samsung Display. And it looks like the strong inventive principles can still be found in patents of modern companies. Learn TRIZ, apply it in your interests, file strong patents and increase capitalization of your companies. Thanks for watching, like and share, and if you want to learn TRIZ principles, join us at iTRIZtv. Next time we will talk about rockets. Rockets described in patents of popular space exploration company. Here is the most interesting picture of the patent. So what we can see, it is the launch of the rocket here and landing. And landing is going on to happen on the drone ship or drone barge. How they are doing that? We'll talk more next time. See you next week. Don't forget to subscribe if you like our video.